What's up, witches? Yes, I mean you, but even if you don't identify for a witch, welcome to my channel because all are welcome here. I am Luna, and today is an unboxing video. There's a lot of contrast today because the sun has been amazing, and now I think I have to fix it. Okay, I fixed it. The lighting situation. Anyway, this is a deck from my patrons. You paid for this month, and I did not order this on Amazon, though it's been on that list for a long time. I ordered it from Puff and Stuff, my friendly neighborhood little head shop. And can you see the rainbow here? There's a little rainbow because of my crystal, and what a beautiful sunny day. Anyway, this is the Golden Black Cat Tarot by Helena de Almeida. And this is an AGM Urania deck. And it's kind of fun because you don't really find AGM decks. There are, those decks are marketed through US Games in the US, but this isn't. This is straight up AGM. So that's kind of exciting. But it's sort of like, Llewellyn and Los Garbeo are partners across the pond. Same thing with US Games and AGM. With charm, elegance, and a twinkling eye, the black cats of artist Helena de Almeida slink into our hearts. The lovingly designed cards based on the tarot of A.E. Waite show the velvet paws magical, graceful, and free, but also fierce and strong. The numerous details of each card, the modern aesthetics, and the enchanting black cats make this deck extraordinary for cat fans as well as others. Content: 78 cards with gold foil and gilded edges, and a 96-page full-color booklet. This is 2022, and we've got this little DE-ALMEIDA.ART is the web. And now, okay, it's a glossy box. We don't get any, like, thumb holds. Okay, publishers, take notice. If we have to wrestle the deck out of the box, it's less fun. We just have black in there. Here's the book, which has kind of a weird thing going on here. I don't know. Oh, yeah, you can see it. See the kind of, not really speckly, but splotchy look on the cover there? I don't know what that's about. But here is the book, and let's go to the back about the author and artist. Helena Isabel Isidro de Almeida was born in Portugal and lives in Germany. She's an international artist who combines spiritual art with a touch of reality. Self-taught, from a young age she felt the need to express her feelings through images inspired by the universe and nature. After a career in quality management, she decided to pursue this passion professionally a few years ago. So good for her, Just a little image on the back there. No, we're not done. Been having issues with focus lately, if you couldn't tell. Contents: how this idea was born, how to work with the Black Cat Tarot cards, my favorite reading, the Celtic Cross, the Major Arcana, the Minors, and about author and artist. Okay, how this idea was born. This tarot was born after meditation. I started to ask the universe for professional guidance, and I visualized a black cat. When I started drawing this deck, the colors came naturally. It seemed that I was guided with every stroke I drew. Always a good sign. This tarot has a very strong meaning for me. I feel spiritually connected by the fact that the idea appeared in a meditation with the divine universe. Each time the path to continue was shown to me again. And I'm very grateful that I was allowed to be part of this project. I hope that you can also feel this spiritual connection. I am thankful for the support of my beloved husband, Bernd Alfred Grimm, who from the beginning of my project believed and motivated me always, and for the divine universe that was showing me the path. I love that his last name is Grimm. I wonder if he's related. How to work with the Black Cat Tarot cards. This tarot has 78 cards, of which 22 are major arcana and 56 are minor. Major represents various archetypes. When reading the major arcana, pay attention to the opportunities, threats, strengths, and weaknesses of the character and everything around him, and let your own intuition lead you to that which at the time of reading stands out more. You will also have a message in the book for each card in this tarot that can help you. I want to take a look at something here to see if there's a translation. Text and artwork. It just says text and artwork. Helena de Almeida. And I was looking to see if it was, done in her language and then translated. One of her several languages, obviously. Okay, the major has as its main symbol on the card a pentacle and its number, starting at number 0, ending at 21. The symbol on the majors is a pentacle. In the middle of the pentacle, there is a respective number of the major arcana. Okay, we have just said the exact same thing in 2 paragraphs. The minor arcana represents the 4 characteristics that we can find in the 4 elements: water, fire, air, and earth. Each suit is related to an element. Wands is fire. Okay. So it's kind of confusing that we have wand suit symbols. So it shows the little cat head on a pentacle with fire behind it, and there's a wand. And then there we've got like a water droplet, sort of air swirlies, and not sure what that is. It's a good if you clean your tarot if other people touch it. I take all the cards in my hand and ask the divine universe to clean all the energy, fill it with neutral energy. All right, so my favorite reading is a daily card after my morning meditation. Use my pendulum to choose the message and then follow these steps. Seated, I shuffle the cards and ask the divine universe to send me a message through the tarot cards. 2, divide the deck in half and place the 2 piles of cards on the table without seeing any cards in the pile. 3, I pass the pendulum over a white candle flame. 4, I hold the pendulum over each pile of cards without touching them, and the pile over which the pendulum rotates in a clockwise direction will be the pile where my message would be. The other I remove from the table. 5, I will do the steps again from step 2 until I'm left with only 1 card on the table that will be the chosen card for the rest of the day. That's a process, especially with 78 cards. I carefully analyze it and put it into practice throughout the day. Then we have a Celtic cross, and then we're into the majors. The cats that I see so far are absolutely adorable. So in the majors, we get strengths and a bunch of keywords: opportunities, weaknesses, and threats. I love that. And then there's a message. When we get to the minors, we get strengths, opportunities, weaknesses, threats. So exactly the same for the majors and the minors. That's always appreciated. There is an image from the cards, not like a whole card image, but there is something from each card on the page. Makes it easier to relate. And then, yes, we go right to the very end. Okay, I hope that we can see things well enough without getting too labored on the light. Okay, here, look at, there's the gilding. Beautiful. The deck is cut evenly. Glory, hallelujah. Here are the backs. Look how cute. Very, very cute. And on the back, we have 2022 Koningsfurt, Urania Verlag, and then De Almeida art. So they are directional backs. You will be able to see whether they're upright or reversed. But I would hope, even if we have that, it doesn't matter what the intention of the author is to be read, reading reverses or not. You do what you want to do. And is it really going to stop you that the backs are directional or not? I don't think so. Okay. So here is the Fool. And we have this beautiful matte black card. There is a gilded border around the inside, which is very pleasing. And then we see the pentacle at the top with the number, the Roman numeral in it. And here is the Fool, standing on top of a cliff with his little bag over his shoulder. Those are the essentials of the Fool. So we can certainly tell. What we're not going to get here is like, pardon me, landscape or real scenery in the back. So is this we'll find out if this is a beginner deck or not. Here's the Magician with the big moon in the sky looking like a big ball of Swiss cheese. And so we see the cup. Is that a paw print? It looks like a paw print. A wand. That would be the sword. I guess that would be the pentacle, or maybe around the cat's neck. I like the idea of a circle here, that we're sitting inside of a circle. So bare bones, no doubt, but I like it. Interesting that there's not, that the gilding isn't on the back of the cards, but on the front. Huh. I don't think I've ever seen that before. Here's the High Priestess. We have the 2 columns in the temple and the book. Look at the yin-yang. So certainly recognizable and absolutely adorable. If I can keep my hair out of the thing. Anyway, here's the Empress. She looks like she have boobs, which I do appreciate as the Empress. It's kind of like we've distilled down into just a little graphic image. Boobs and a twat. Look at all the flowers. Definitely bringing that idea of the abundance of the Empress. And is that the sun? Possibly, probably. Here's the Emperor. We have 4 kitty heads, and he's at the top of the mountain, holding an ankh and an orb. And here's the Hierophant. Look at it. It looks like a planchette from Ouija, doesn't it? And the Hierophant, too, sits with a scroll on his lap and that little kind of bishopy looking hat. So I think if you have a basic grounding in Waite-Smith, it's going to help you with this, because you can fill in the blanks in your mind. Here's the Lover's card. They're just adorable. And the Chariot with the black and white horses. I like these kind of brush strokey lines there. Here's the Strength card. And look at the cat is actually sitting on top of a lion, and this lion's face reminds me of some kind of, Looney Tunes critters. It definitely has just the tip of the tongue in cheek. The images are sweet and adorable, but we are carrying the same messages as the Waite-Smith. Here's the Hermit. I don't know what this is. Oh, I guess it's like a staff. The Wheel of Fortune. I keep thinking of my earrings I make, my little MCM cats, mid-century modern cats that are kind of like these, with the long, long tails. Here's Justice. So we see the owl and the scales and the upright sword, definitely recognizable. The Hanged Cat. Look at the eagle on top. Death. Interesting little symbols. They almost look like bones. And the skeletal cat standing there with the scythe. Here's Temperance. I don't know what is that like a cape? A fuzzy cape. There's a little halo above the head. Here's the Devil. The only thing that really is an allusion to the devil is these lines that are connected, around these cats' necks. Here's the Tower. That's certainly recognizable. The Star. Interesting that we don't have 1 foot in water and 1 foot on land. We're just standing and pouring. Here's the Moon. Look at the little Scotty dog. And you can see a scorpion's tail and pincher there. I'm not holding these up to the camera because I have this set on fixed focus, so it will not. Here's the sun. I love the musical notes. Again, I say this all the time. I so appreciate when music is shown in a deck. Music is such an important thing. You know, humans, no matter where we're, look at the gold that is glowing here from the sun. Isn't that beautiful? Humans, no matter where we are, no matter what time in history, no matter what you put in our hands, we make instruments out of things and we make music. So, and here's music again in the Judgment card. So even more than I'm happy when it is depicted in a deck, I'm kind of really disgruntled that it's rarely depicted in decks. And there's the world with the cat faces and their little background symbols of the elements. Here's the Ace of Wands. Interesting sort of silhouettes on the sides there. They look sort of cattish. Not sure. Two of Wands. So we see the orb in the hand. Look at this banner. It's kind of, and you know, we have the thing spelled out, Two of Wands, but then we've got the cat's, the symbol of the fire up here. So that's a reminder that wands are fire. I'm not sure what the banner is. Let's look it up. Persuasive. Strengths. There's just one word, persuasive. Opportunities. Discover your real personal power and convince others of your ideas and wishes. Weaknesses. Arrogance. Threats. Will and ideas not realized to lack of humility and communication with others who could have helped you. Threats, will, and ideas not realized due to lack. Sometimes, and messages, sometimes having the power to do something may be key to success. Bringing people together and sharing that power will increase the change to a successful outcome. All right, so we don't describe the images, and the language is a little iffy. Here's the 3. All right, I'm not sure what's going on here. This certainly looks like a wall of water. 3 wands. Things are kind of curling here. More music. Okay, they're winning me over with that. Here's the 4 of wands. So look at, we've got 3 couples here interacting with each other. And then there's the 5. So we've got 4 cats, each holding wands, sort of vying with each other. And then the 5th is like a cat's head on a spike. Here's the 6, the victory card. Look at the little trophy with a 1 on it. Here's the 7. So I do think it really is going to help if you have the Waite-Smith system in your head while you look at this deck. This is very recognizable, the 7. Here's the 8. These cards are, let me see if you can hear it. Nope, that one didn't do it, of course. There's the 9 of wands. Look, he's kind of hiding behind there. And the 10. They were, okay. You might not have heard that one. I'll see if I can catch it. Here's the page, just sitting with the wand. Let's see if you can hear this. Yeah, the gilding kind of sticks, but that's okay because you're going to go through them, you know, and shuffle them anyhow. There's the page. There's the knight. The queen with her own kitty, and the king. So here's what I'll do. This is fun. When you have gilded decks, you just give them a bend and they break away from each other. All right, now we have swords. And you see, so the ace, oh, okay. I mean, it looks like grass growing. I thought that maybe the Ace of Wands would have the fire symbols in the background there, but they don't. And I thought that because these swords have the little air swirlies behind them. All right. So it looks like on the aces, we're going to get these caterpillars or something. Here's the 2, and he's got his paws up over his eyes. Reference to the blindfold there. Here's the 3 and the 4. The 5. So we don't see eyes on these, so they have their backs too. Has he run them off? There's the 6. How interesting. Look at the bird rather than a boat. So sticking with the air of swords. And then we have the 7. Sneaking. The 8, again, with paws up like this over the eyes. Interesting that we've got other figures here, too. So we've got the one surrounded by the swords, and then there's another one here, and then there's one looking on. Very interesting. There's the 9. Again, we've got paws up. And so we've got 3 cards in the sword so far of this. Not going to let myself know. And then here's the 10. Wow. So this gives the impression of someone who's died and is being, the soul being lifted up, perhaps. There's the page. The Knight. Queen holding a little owl. And a king holding like an eagle with like a lion's mane behind him. That's very interesting. And now we have cups. So we see a heart coming out of the cup here, and there's little water droplets. The 2. I like that we have the little caduceus and the spirit in the sky. Very strongly echoing the lovers. There's the 3 with music again. The 4. I'm grumpy and I don't want to know what you have to offer me. Here's the 5. Focused on the loss. The 6 with balloons. And then 7 of cups. So again, the essentials are here. Here's the 8. We're walking away. The 9. Oh, that's interesting. So holding a cup, and you see this image of a cat coming out. So this is what they're wishing for. What they're visualizing. And here's the 10. Be happy, family. Page. We do have a little fish in the cup here. The Knight. All the knights are facing us, so we don't have differences in, how the horses are standing. Or did we? Let's see here. The Knight. Oh, yeah, the Knight of Swords is bucking up. So the Knight of Wands is standing still. So the only one in motion so far was the swords. Look at these adorable little characters around the Queen. We've got like little bunnies and birds and that adorable little lion. Like really Disney looking or Looney Tunesy looking. Here's the King with that mane again. Clearly water though. Then we have the Pentacles. There's the 2. That's an interesting image. I mean, are those scratches? Are those strings? 3 of Pentacles. I think you're going to internalize keywords with this deck and not so much be drawing on the images, although there are things there to draw on. Here's the 3 of Pentacles. Looks like they're harvesting. Because why would you be pinning things onto the tree? The 4. Money bags. The 5. Oh, look. In the house, you can see all these kitties having a great time together, and this one's crying. When I was little, that would have broken my heart. 6 of Pentacles. So we're weighing things out. We have it in bags and then we're distributing. So there are interesting things to draw on. Here's the 7. Look at the face in the tree. Here's what I have to give you. Harvesting in a very material way. The 8. Okay. So we see this cat couple at the table. This one's sitting down, this one's standing up. Cups, Pentacle. Okay, so we're talking apprenticeship. It looks like cats are coming up to give a pentacle to this cat who has a cup here. And it looks like utensils. And then these cats are leaving with cups. Are we purchasing cups with pentacles? That's kind of an interesting thing that I'm going to look up. All right, disciplined. The strengths are disciplined. Opportunities, getting a job done right. Weaknesses, routine. Threat, failing in other areas of life because you're so focused on work. Message, looking for a balance between work and personal life. It will also be beneficial to start a new course of study, gain new skills to be able to give more value to your work. All right, here's the 9 with 2 cats. So the idea of like solitary prosperity, there's a cutesy poo bunny, is just not there. There's the 10 with their grand house. The page, it's a little lizard there. The knight, so now we have a knight climbing like the queen with lots of what, tails or things growing there? And then the king. All right, let's get our charcoal lit. It's a very interesting little deck. It's not earth-shaking. You know, what I'm most interested in here is how each of the cards goes through that, you know, opportunities, strengths, opportunities, weaknesses, and threats. Strengths, opportunities, weaknesses, threats. They're just 4 very interesting categories that I'm appreciating. Let's give it a blessing. I appreciate cats no matter what, and I think this is probably like number 17 of my cat decks. You know, so many cat decks. I find it very interesting and very telling that there are a shit ton of cat-based decks, both tarot and oracle. Not a lot of dog ones. I think I have 1 dog deck. So, by air and fire, may you be purified and charged. And by water and earth, may you be blessed and made whole. And by the sound of the bell, give it a little bit louder. There we go. May the spirit awaken within you. Guides and guardians, allies and ancestors, thank you for being here with me. Thank you for using this deck as a vehicle for the message that you would like to give us today. To me, to my viewers, whenever they happen to be watching, I offer you fresh water and I offer you the fire of Azrael. And let's do a shuffle. So if you want to look at this, you cannot get your fingers around this deck. So that's a problem. Cardstock isn't too bad. It seems fairly flexible, but, you know, I mean, you can get it, your hands around it edge to edge enough to try a riffle. I don't think this is going to be very comfortable. It can be done, but oof. Yeah. and we see that they stayed bent. Not real happy about that. All right, I'm going to split these and see about shuffling the sections. But again, here we go. Cardstock. Why is it so difficult for, and okay, they're coming in chunks, so I'm going to try the trick of shuffling these face up, which can fix that problem. In a lot of decks that are gilded, there's a kind of weird lip. Yeah. So if you want to try to riffle and get a decent mix, I would say shuffle them face up. And I'm only going to do this like the first time I use these cards because this kind of stuff bugs me. It makes me tense when I have to like wrestle a deck into being shuffled. All right. So what are we going to do here? I'm going to cut shuffle this way, and then we are going to split and pull. So let's look at that favorite reading that she talked about. And, oh no, that's the thing with the pendulum and going through the entire frickin' deck. We're not going to do that. We're just going to do my usual 6-card thing. Oh, okay. Death and Temperance popped off the top there, but those are back-to-back cards. So I'm going to disregard them. And I wasn't actually shuffling. So, oh, and I see that I've mixed. Uh-oh, we've got some upright and some reverse. That's okay. Good. So one would imagine that upright, we're looking at the strengths, and reversed, we are looking at, the weaknesses and threats. Okay, so here's the 9 of Pentacles that came out of the deck reversed. All right. So we're going to split and pull here. Another reverse, Ace of Pentacles. Temperance. All right, well, that's a validation. Temperance definitely wanted to come out of the deck. All right, let me spread these apart. I am sorry I'm so fussy. 'Tis the way I am made. Here, let's do this. Here we go. All right, and then another reverse, Ace of Wands. Now, I will tell you that when I do readings, if there are reverses in the deck, and usually, well, when I was reading professionally, and when I do readings for friends or family that use the whole Wheel of Fortune spread, I read in triplets, or, I'll do a 3x3 with an extra card at the end for 10. And when I do it, if I put 3 out as a group and they're all reversed, I turn them all upright. So lots of reverses. The only things that aren't reversed here are the majors. How interesting. And, I'll tell you, early on, when I was, very early on, just learning to read and offering readings to people so I could practice, I did a reading for someone where everything, and I think there might have been a couple uprights, but other than that, everything was reversed. And it was a full Wheel of Fortune spread, which is like 28 cards. And I did it. I did them reverse, but it broke my brain almost. So I don't do that anymore. All right. 9 of Pentacles. So we have 9 of Pentacles, Ace of Pentacles, Temperance. Then we have the Ace of Wands and the Fool, and then the King of Wands. So we definitely have, look, Ace, Ace, Fool. That triad in the middle, just going intuitively, is talking about we're trying to sort of put the cart before the horse. We're trying to get this brand new beginning, but we haven't made the beginning in the ways that count. And we have fire and earth here, with knowing what it is we want to start, and then having the practical things in place, the resources in place to actually make the start. So we might be a little foolish thinking we're jumping into a new start, but we haven't adequately prepared that. Okay, interesting. Let's go with the Nine of Pentacles and see what we get. The Strength is independence. So think about Nine of Pentacles now. It usually shows a woman with a bird, and she's behind her beautiful, glorious hedge, and everything is growing. So it talks about solitary wealth, resources. Here we have independence. So yes, you can talk about somebody being like financially independent. Opportunities, says mission accomplished, moments of happiness and harmony. Weaknesses, too self-assured, and threat. The excessive feeling of security can cause problems in the future. So let's look at those. A little too confident in what we have, feeling very secure, but, again, maybe not taking the actual steps to dial in that security. Message: everything that everyone wants you can achieve now, or you may have already achieved it, but don't be so confident that you don't need to do anything else in your life. Okay. So coming up reversed here, we are immediately being cautioned about, and I also want to say, because it talks about solitary wealth, that reversed there, it might say to our detriment. That we are really enjoying our own solitary resources and the things we have, keeping it too much to ourselves. All right. And maybe some things need to be shared, or, we're getting smug. All right. Ace of Wands. Strengths, visionary. Opportunities, good results from your own work. Weaknesses, do not respect limits. Threats, uncontrolled work due to exceeding own limits. The language is difficult here. Clearly, we have a not native English speaker behind this. I'm quite certain whatever they wrote in their own language is absolutely sensible, but something's being lost in translation here. The weaknesses, do not respect limits. It's like a directive. What we want to say there is, not respecting limits is the weakness. All right. The message is put your ideas into practice, as this is the time to achieve something successful in your life. Do not forget your own limits so you do not lose everything. Okay, so we really need to be aware of how much we're doing. And again, this is a beginning, so we can talk about rushing into a beginning without adequate planning here. And I'm not sure why I went there first, but I did. So let's go here. Ace of Pentacles, self-assurance. Opportunities, has adequate knowledge and skills to act on an important project. Weaknesses, ambitious. Threat, project with bad results. Message: when we're involved in a project, the focus must always be on its results and objectives. If we think only about the monetary part, we will leave everything too loose. And this is, we're reminded to remember our limits. Here, we're reminded to think about things other than money. So maybe we're thinking that we've got more resources than we actually have. I'm going to start this and, damn the torpedoes. I don't really care what resources I might need. I'm just going to plunge in and start. We're focused here on the stuff that we have, our own resources. All right, let's go to the Fool. Pure, the Strength is pure, open mind, self-motivated, honest, and optimist. Again, kind of interesting language. Opportunities, new beginnings, new relationships, falling in love, new adventures, and life surprises. Weaknesses, impulsive and irresponsible. Threats, possible accidents and disappointments. Message: yes, a little adventure and madness can be healthy, but don't let that be the basis of your important decisions in your life, as you will easily be disappointed and frustration can take hold of you. All right, so new beginnings, but these beginnings are on a weak foundation here. We're trying to forge ahead too soon without getting the practical issues taken care of, without adequately assessing our resources. So this is going to be an impulsive new beginning that is ultimately going to be doomed. And let's look at temperance over here. Strengths are self-control, healer, and harmonious. Opportunities, balanced personal and professional life. Weaknesses, worrying more about others than about yourself. Threats, when not paying attention to details, falls into disarray and imbalance. Message, to have balance in all areas of life, pay attention to details that may go unnoticed. Patience at this time is necessary. Focus more on yourself in order to achieve what you want. So if we just read the top line here, and we have a little too focused on our own resources. I want to see what that said again. Oh, wait. Here we go. Too self-assured, excess feeling of security, false sense of security, a failure to really begin to take care of our resources, like a new source of income or something that didn't pan out, and we are called to bring this into balance, to temper our decisions, to make sure things are going to work out right. And then we've got this Ace of Wands. We're going to, it's again like damn the torpedoes. We're just going to impulsively go ahead, and it's going to be a foolish attempt. We could be headed off a cliff. And then the King of Wands. Inspirational, majestic, dramatic, and energetic are the strengths. Opportunities, learn new things more quickly and apply knowledge learned in new challenges. Weaknesses, presumptuous. The threat, personal war with another with the same power in the current issue. Message, a phase of life where stability reigns, where there is room to achieve new goals, but there is someone who may want and be able to interfere in this process. Okay, so this whole side here is talking about ill-advised impulsiveness, not having our feet grounded in the reality of the resources that we have and the practical impacts of things. And we're just going to rush off and be a little overconfident. Look at that again. Presumptuous. So we're taking a lot just on faith and ego here. And whatever new beginning we're trying to start on that it's going to be a foolish thing, and we have to balance things out. This is a very interesting message, and I'm not quite sure where it's aimed. Please drop a comment below and tell me how this reading feels to you. Kind of as the collective, we just really need to get our feet under us if we're looking at how to begin things anew, politically, as far as our interpersonal stuff, as far as, the troubles of the earth and how it impacts each one of us. We've really got to back up and look at the initial preparations of things. We can't take anything for granted. Our own resources, the impulse that we have to begin again, the, new rules, new anything in the material has to be much better considered, because we're getting ready to jump off a cliff here. And I'm just taking, look, we get the Ten of Pentacles reversed. Let's take a look at that. Culture and traditional. opportunities, feeling of security, of being in agreement with the teachings of the ancestors in the society where they live, happy family, weakness, commodity, threat, not knowing what is different, even if your inner self screams about it, not knowing what is different, even if your inner self screams about it. What the hell does that say? I don't understand. Message: you do not need to question your values or your family life to also do what you want to do, as long as there's honesty and respect for yourself and others. Not knowing what is different. Commodity. So we're just going to look at this as just an overemphasis on money, money, money. It didn't really clarify things for me. Well, I'm going to stop there. Let me know what you think. It certainly seems like there's a coherent message, but I feel like I've got a blind spot here. So please give me your input. Let me know what you think of this reading, how it might apply to you personally, or how you see that it might apply in a broader context. I would really appreciate that. So thanks for hanging out with me, you guys. And thank you to my patrons again for facilitating the purchase of this deck. It's very cute. I do love it. And I love building my cat section of the collection. I will see you next time. And until then, this is Luna. Blessed be.